play outward. So here we are again. I finally talked with these people and got our quest status back up to where it was. Looking to the future, go to this place or that place. And it looks like the sun's going down on that side. It's evening now. I'm gonna take a rest in a minute because, as you can see, my maximum stamina is dropped. That seems to be the biggest issue for me now. I don't know exactly how to maintain maximum stamina. I think eating and drinking is probably how I should be doing that. I'm not eating and drinking that though. I'm neglecting my needs. So there's a moon, an orange, a red moon in the sky. That's pretty cool. I wonder if our moon wasn't covered in space dust and wasn't white, if it would look orange too. And imagine Mars drifting around your planet. I've always found it very aesthetically pleasing to see moons, extra moons floating around the planet. You know, it's just I guess it's a break from the norm. Skyrim had a really beautiful skyline. Actually, this game reminds me about Skyrim in a lot of ways. When you run around and your stamina gets low, your character starts hobbling around like this, and it looks hilarious because you can kind of maintain it for as long as you feel like. And they look so stupid running around like this. When you get really out of stamina, they really like this. Help. I'm so tired, but my legs keep running. Why? I can't stop running. Help me, somebody. And your posture stays like this until you recover stamina. It's hilarious. You just run around. You can live like this if you feel like it. You just always make your stamina stay low and run around like this. I think it's absolutely slaying my max stamina though. I have a feeling like the stamina loss is severe. We're going to be resting in a minute anyway, getting it all back. Also, I'm going to be spending a bit of time repairing. The things I've got on me don't really that much need repairs. I'm going to equip the fishing harpoon. There we go. So when I rest, that thing will get repaired. I've got a bunch of ingredients on me. So since last episode, between episodes, I wanted to record it, but I messed something up. So yeah, between episodes, what I did is, well, I just got back from the beach, and on my way back I saw another fishing spot. So I don't know if they just randomly respawn, but I've been finding garberries around the village here and there too. So I think they will just have some kind of random like respawn timer. Or maybe there's always one or two active somewhere, so when you picked every gaberry bush somewhere, another a depleted gaberry bush replenishes. I don't know exactly how the spawn system works in the game. People who are smarter than me are going to have to look into it and figure it out. I got a lot of ingredients on me. I went back to the lighthouse and picked a bunch of ingredients with me. I'm going to do some cooking on the beach. I'm going to farm some, I'm going to mine some salt. The infinite salt mine that is the sea. So, what else have I got on me? I checked with the vendor and you can't sell salt, because imagine if you could. That would be the greatest loophole. Because you can kind of get an infinite amount of salt. You can just, I think you can cook water if you put a cooking pot. So you can kind of just set up camp next to a beach and just gather salt water, cook salt water, gather salt water, cook salt water. Get an infinite amount of salt. It would be amazing. Salt does seem like the easiest to farm item so far. Okay, so I'm gonna check quickly. So I equipped fishing harpoon. The durability doesn't have a number on it. It just got a status of healthy versus unhealthy. The red bar. Slowly consuming the white bar. Okay, so we've lost quite a chunk of durability there. I'm gonna repair for 4 hours, sure, and sleep for 7 hours. Cool. Imagine spending 4 hours repairing a weapon. Like, what are we? Some kind of blacksmith or something? It's like it's our job. I'm gonna get another cup of coffee. We're sitting in the loading screen waiting. Yeah, it's really weird that we had that quest rollback happen last episode. So curious. I really hope the save files don't get corrupted. And I hope that the save files don't roll back too often, because that's just obnoxious. We haven't dealt with death yet, and I hope we never have to, but it might be inevitable at some point. The random occurrences after death also seem like absolute nonsense, you know? If it was a roguelike game, it would be okay, but like, imagine in Skyrim dying somewhere and your ultimate crafted armor would be taken from you or something. Like, you lose your stuff. Like, the amount of time you spend smithing, crafting, enchanting in Skyrim, getting the perfect character. Imagine losing that stuff. That legendary sword you found in a cave somewhere, the Daedric artifacts. It's like, you died. A bandit has made off with your Daedric artifacts and is nowhere to be seen. You lose your Daedric artifact. Oh well. Though, from what I gather, even this game, with its random events after death, is kind of forgiving. Like, on my first character, I died 5 or 6 times in a row. 2 weeks passed, and eventually I was dropped outside of the bandit camp with my bag. So the game does, sometimes it just does take pity on you and gives you your stuff back. But like, yeah, I'm gonna remove it again. When you remove it, you've got at the top the compass, shows the location of your bag, and since it's one of the key elements of the game, I think they really, they really save the location of where it is. I don't think it could ever disappear because it's got all that valuable items in it. Actually, coming from the beach on the last episode, between episodes, I noticed that the being wet debuff is very broken. Because sometimes, like, I'm walking in the water here and I'm not getting a wet debuff at any time. But sometimes just randomly you'll be walking around and all of a sudden you'll get those, that debuff on you. It's at the bottom left next to the bed icon. That's a buff you get from sleeping in the house here. Actually, look at that. Sleep, drink and food is replenished. So if all you do in this game is sleep, you don't ever have to eat or drink, because for some reason your eating and drinking needs are seen too when you sleep. It's really weird. I don't understand it. I just know that I've been running around with the same food items in my pack for the longest time, and I've never really consumed them because I always come back and sleep, and and my character never gets hungry. So there you see it. We were at like 80 or 70 before we had a nap, had a sleep in the bed, and now they're all up to maximum again. It's kind of unrealistic, especially since when they say when you've got an illness, the best thing to do is eat and sleep to cure it. Well, looks like all you need to do is sleep, because your character's hunger and thirst are seen to just like that. I can't really complain though. Anything that makes things less complicated are better for me, because I tend to mess up things like that. Did that fishing spot spawn right before our eyes? It may have done so. I do like the animation of setting up campfire. You just like, everything's lying there, it just like levitates into place. Okay, so we've got the campfire. We can light the campfire using a, what should I call it? A flint and steel. Basic survival tool used to light campfires. I wonder if it's consumed well on use. Check. Nope, the flint and steel remains, which is curious because you can pick him up in various locations. I found the flint and steel. I don't know if there's one in your house. I think so. Yeah, I think there's a flint and steel in your lighthouse in the kitchen when you just start off. But there's also a flint and steel in the cave, the Cierzo storage, in a little cave under your lighthouse. There's one in there. So, okay, I'll hold triangle to turn off. I'll light it again with the flint and steel. See if this thing's got a limit on it. It doesn't have like charges, doesn't give me any feedback that it would have limited uses, so maybe it's got an infinite amount of uses. It would make sense because lighting tools in real life kind of have a decent longevity to them. Especially if you're using like metallic objects to create sparks. It's not like your spark creating tool, if it's made of metal, is going to have any kind of bad durability. You'll probably get a near infinite amount of lighting fires out of it before you'll likely lose it faster than it'll break or be spent. So we've got that. We put on the cooking pot, deploy, and again we get to see like where we're gonna put this. Maybe here. Yeah, this looks like a good spot. Why not? It's like the most logical answer. And now. Triangle, use cooking pot. And I'm going to see if we can boil salt water. Is that clean water? Oh yeah, I already dealt with some salt water between episodes in the house. So you want to press square empty. Put the water out. Hold on. How much is this weigh? It weighs, the skin weighs 0. Oh yeah, we're hot now for some reason. I think it's because we're next to the campfire. Man, this game's heat detection sometimes. I'm just gonna go ahead and just physically drink some of this water. Drinking water gives you like a slight heat resistance, a heat tolerance. Where do you see that? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, whatever. Whatever, game. I guess I'll take off some gear. Ah man, this campfire's hot. Oh my god. Why? Yeah, let's catch these fish. They've been living happily. Fishies. Gather the fish. Hello. Fishies. Oh, catch the fishies. They won't let me. Okay. Add it to the collection of glitches. Nah, anyway, this has got everything I need in it. Use cooking pot. Okay, I'm actually standing with my foot on the fire, so my body temperature is going up. I think we'll survive. Okay, so you need a fish, a seaweed, and salt to make some Cierzo ceviche. A dish of raw rainbow trout that keeps the fish's mana restoring and elemental resistance attributes. That's cool. Garberry jam. Can make that too. I've slayed some hyenas on the way here, and I've got some meat, so I can make the meat stew, which requires a vegetable as well. Travel rations. I'm gonna make those last because they just require ingredients and salt. So what am I going to make first? The meat stew, because I haven't made any of that yet, and well, might as well. Make one of those. One more, maybe? I don't know how much garberries I've got on me. I'll make one garberry jam first. just in case. Okay, I've got 2 garberries left, so I can make then make another meat stew. There we go. I can make a cerzo ceviche. Damn, our temperature just keeps going up. You can see by the arrows that your temperature is adjusting. It's either rising or falling. Okay, I can make a couple of these. I wonder if I can sell food. You can sell the individual ingredients, I believe. Here's a travel ration using fish. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be allowing to use crafted food. I'm gonna have to take a look at that, because they do recommend travel rations over other types of food. Like, food has various properties to it. How hot are we? Hot. 67, 68. Stamina, the stamina cost of actions increases. Maximum stamina loss is based off of stamina use, so I don't really care about stamina cost if we're not actually using any stamina. Oh, horses. Where's that? Oh yeah, we emptied our water skin. Where's that thing? So it weighs 0 when you empty it. It's around here somewhere. There it is. When you fill it with salt water, it weighs 1.5. 1.5 kilos. I don't know, is that realistic? Might be. But, like, based on its size, it looks like it's not possible. It's probably like 30 centiliters to 50 centiliters, so it couldn't possibly be a liter. Anyway, I'm not drinking from that. Drinking salt water is bad. Gonna go ahead and plop it in there. Grass. Empty. Full. Get back here. Plop it back on. Craft. And there you go. There's a way of getting salt really quickly. So you can kind of farm the hell out of salt. You could have like a stack of infinite salt in your storage to use for all your cooking needs. Apparently I'm very hot. I wonder what that does. I'm very hot. Impact resistance minus 60. Stamina cost of actions plus 50. Ugh. Oh no. I've got cold weather defense by sleeping in Cerzo. I don't have any heat defense. But like honestly, if taking all of your gear off doesn't give you some kind of heat defense, I find that weird. Maybe you have to wear like very special like desert-based armor to have heat resistance, and maybe I find it weird that like putting on layers would give you heat resistance, but I think it's very specifically tailored to like the sun. I mean, you can by putting on layers guard yourself against the sun. I'm gonna drink before my character explodes from heat damage or whatever. Go and sit in the water then, come on. Increase your heat resistance quickly. You're melting. I wonder what the range is of a campfire's heat. It's probably far, knowing how crazy this game gets. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna disassemble the fire. Yeah, I'm gonna put my clothes back on, disassemble the fire, and hold on. Yeah, I'm already wearing boots. Yeah, I had a pair of boots here that was ready for disassembly. Get some linen cloth, then we can make an extra bandage. Useful, healing potion, Estus, disassemble, pepper pot, yoink, and also turtle. Because I'm salting here, and look, now we get the wet debuff for some reason. Cold weather defense reduced, fire resistance plus 25. You know, it would be lovely if it was more realistic and just stepping into the water, the waves on the beach would give you this effect. Because, yeah, fire resistance plus 25, great. Heats, yeah, it's weird, but being naked gives you much less heat resistance than having a very, like, desert-tailored armor equipped, oddly enough. I'm gonna check at the store and see what kind of stuff we can sell to them.
Is there something you need?
So can we sell crafted foods to you? Yes, we can. Meat stew, we can sell ingredients themselves. The meat stew, despite the fact there are multiple ingredients incorporated, only sells for 1 coin, 1 silver. I'm just gonna call them silver coins. That is unfortunate, because we put some ingredients in there and it looks like the ingredients themselves can be sold for more. So yeah, that's not great. I found another blue sand, by the way. One of the fishing spots respawned as I was walking back from the beach between episodes there. I've got some hides from hyenas. I wonder if the hyenas respawn. Yeah, a lot of this is not worth selling. Azure shrimp. I have yet to see any food expire in my storage. I'm keeping an eye out for it, but it's possible that the storage keeps your food good for a really long time. I don't know exactly how it works yet. We'll figure it out as time goes on, but I feel like selling this azure shrimp because it's an expirable food and it's worth a lot. It's worth more than like my my beautifully crafted round shield and my mining pick. Like, I'll give you $9 for that shrimp. And what about this beautiful pickaxe? This very useful mining tool, which you could get all kinds of diamonds and gemstones with. Nah, that doesn't look as valuable in this beautiful azure shrimp. Looks scrumptious. I want to eat it right now. Give it to me. Okay, then, here you go, buddy. Enjoy your shrimp. It's weird. But then, you know, it's a game designed by people, and you know, you never. It's easy to look at a product as a whole and be able to compare everything, every possible thing. While design is often just arbitrary. If we're adding this to the game, how much should this be valued? Just put an arbitrary number on it. I'm sure they strove for realism as well as they could. The game does remind you that cooked items last much longer and expire much slower than ingredients. So I'm probably going to put these fish into some dish as well. To make a campfire set, all you really need is two bits of wood. And we're going to survival crafting, which is the same as regular crafting, it's just crafting. I'm not going to make a bedroll, primitive satchel, in case you lose yours, I guess. Campfire kit, 2 wood, no, 3 wood, okay, let's get 3 wood. Trees, where are you, trees? Here's a tree. You, give me some wood. Yoink, 3 wood. Just enough. I wonder if the campfires themselves ever disappear. I'm not going to make too many extra campfires on the beach here because I got a feeling that they're just going to hang around forever. These damn fishes, they keep taunting me. You know, you can see them swimming, but there's no bubbles, so I got a feeling it's like a glitched spawn point. It's only, they're there visually, but not, we can't interact with them. Okay, these guys have bubbles around them, but for some reason I can't interact with them. Odd. I'm gonna unequip the, wow, there's an unequip, okay, cool. Unequip the fishing harpoon. Am I able to fish these fishies? Man, what is up with that? You're supposed to be able to gather... it's glitched out somehow. It's really bothering me. Please, game. Please. And I'm not going to hold triangle just in case I can't fish them, because I'll be drinking seawater and killing myself. Whatever. Where's that campfire set? Running low on time. Yeah, we're just doing a bit of experimenting now this episode, unfortunately. I mean, I'm iterating at this late minute. We're almost through. But yeah, I think I'll go out. I'll get ready to head out on our search quest next episode. We'll get right into it, right into the action. I have a tendency to linger and just spend whole episodes talking about stuff and procrastinating, wasting people's time. The cooking pot. Put some fishes. Some emotions. So seaweed. Yeah, these are some things. There we go. And we can create travel rations. Okay, that's what I wanted to check, and that's what I want to see. What I like to see, that we can actually incorporate our crafted foods into travel rations. So what you could potentially do is keep food, and when it's almost gone off, you can cook it into a travel ration and reset like the expiry timer. I'm going to make this set of travel rations because this one raw salmon is almost expiring quickly. I mean, we are hanging around the heat, and fish, you know, fish is needs to be eaten fresh, very hard to keep. So I'll make one more. There we go. We've got a decent amount of travel rations and other foods, so there's that. Though I've got a feeling that food, you know, they hardly have to ever eat or drink as long as you're near a camp, because you could just sleep and it resets all those needs as well. It brings those needs to 100%. Disassemble this joker. I'm gonna go and manage the inventory a bit. I'm gonna put away what we don't need. I'm gonna bring the things that we do need, and then we'll be heading out into the vast expanse next episode. Let's see, what do I need equipped? Okay, everything seems healthy. The fishing harpoon, by repairing for a certain amount of hours, we did manage to restore that completely. So I'm actually, just before I head out, going to rest for another day to restore the mining pick. You have to equip items though. It's only these equipped items that get repaired when you rest. I can see that as getting kind of annoying, you know, having to choose one item to be restored. A lot of these tools are two-handed, see? And so you can only choose one of them to restore the durability for as you rest. So you know, if you had two one-handed weapons, I'm seeing more and more value of keeping one-handed weapons than two-handed weapons over time. Like, you can equip a light source, a shield with a one-handed weapon. You can put two one-handed weapons in your equip slot as you rest, I'm assuming, to restore durability to both. Okay, you've respawned, but for some reason I can't interact with you. It seems like all of the interactables are broken somehow. This is a glitchy game. The game is glitching out a lot. I hope the next episode it fixes itself somehow. We'll see. Anyway, we're done. We're done for now. See you next time.